All right, let's dive into one of the greatest survival stories ever told. And this isn't a story you'll find in a history book. No, this one is written deep inside our very DNA. So, you've probably heard the story, right? About 74,000 years ago, this monster volcano called Toba blows its top. It plunged the entire planet into a volcanic winter, a global disaster that almost snuffed us out. The idea was that our species was whittled down to maybe less than 10,000 people. But what if that's not the real story? Or at least, not the whole story? What if this incredible crisis, this moment we thought was our near end, was actually a beginning? What if it's the very thing that forged the ancestors of, well, almost everyone on the planet today? So today, we're going to look at how new science is completely rewriting that epic survival story. Okay, so here you can see the two big ideas side by side. For a long time, we had the classic theory. Toba happens, volcanic winter, humanity barely clings on, a total near-extinction event. But the new thinking, it's way more interesting. It's not about a global wipeout. It's about a filter, a really tough one. The crisis didn't just kill indiscriminately, it selected for the most adaptable, the most resilient groups. So, that's the big question, isn't it? Who were these survivors? Let's meet the heroes of our story, a very special group of our ancient ancestors. We're talking about a group known as haplogroup L3. Think of it like a massive branch on the human family tree, specifically the maternal line that pops up in East Africa right around the time of Toba. Now, this is the really wild part. If your ancestors came from anywhere outside of Africa, Europe, Asia, the Americas, you are a direct descendant of this group. Every single person. They were the ones who carried the genetic seeds that would eventually populate the entire globe. So, while the world is descending into chaos, where did this key group go? Well, they didn't just hide in a cave somewhere. They found a sanctuary, a high-altitude fortress, really, the Ethiopian highlands. And this is how they did it. It's a fascinating idea called the Blue Nile Pump. Basically, Toba's ash messes up the weather, causing huge droughts. The rivers in the lowlands start to dry up. So what happens? All these little groups of humans get pumped or pushed into smaller and smaller areas around the few water sources left. The pressure is just immense. Innovate or die, right? And they innovated. They came up with new tech like advanced archery and started relying more on fishing. The crisis literally forced them to get smarter and more resourceful. But it wasn't just about new tools and new strategies. They had something else, a kind of secret weapon, you could say. And it was hidden deep inside their DNA, a gift from a world that no longer exists. So what was it? What was L3's hidden advantage? What gave them that special edge? And the answer is right here in their genetic code. Look, they were almost 100% modern humans, just like us. But see that tiny little slice, less than 2%? That came from interbreeding with what scientists call an archaic ghost population. Think of them as a long-lost cousin species, one that had split from our line hundreds of thousands of years earlier and is now totally extinct. But that tiny piece of DNA wasn't junk. No way. It was a game changer. It gave them crucial genes for immunity, basically a preloaded defense system against local diseases. Okay, so this pattern, a crisis hits, a group retreats to a safe place, innovates, and comes out stronger, it's so powerful that it doesn't just happen once. It's like an echo through history. So now, let's fast forward. And I mean really fast forward, about 72,000 years. This is just incredible. Look at the parallels here. On the left, you have our L3 ancestors. The filter they faced? Toba. Their refuge? The Ethiopian highlands. Their big innovation? New tools and that game-changing ghost DNA. And the result? They went on to populate the entire planet. Now look at the right, the Tobiads, a powerful family in the ancient Middle East. Their filter? Constant, brutal wars between empires. Their refuge? A fortress in the Transjordan highlands. Their innovation wasn't genetic, it was cultural, a new identity that blended their traditions with new ideas. And the result? They became a super powerful political force. It is the exact same pattern, just playing out thousands and thousands of years later. So what does all this mean? This incredible echo across history? It tells us something really fundamental about how we, as a species, survive and even thrive. There's this quote that just nails it perfectly. It says, "The bottleneck, that crisis, wasn't a grave, it was a kiln, a furnace.
It didn't just destroy, it fired that L3 group into this incredibly resilient seed, all packed together, ready to be scattered across the world. I mean, wow.
So here's the big takeaway. Isolation plus pressure seems to breed innovation. These massive crises, they're filters. They weed out what doesn't work and select for what does, whether it's in our genes, our tools, or our culture. And that ability to not just endure pressure, but to actually get better because of it, well, that might just be one of the secret ingredients to human success. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question, doesn't it? Because this pattern, it didn't just stop in the past. So it makes you think, what are the big bottlenecks shaping our world right now? And what new ideas, new groups, or new ways of being are being forged in that pressure, getting ready to define what's next?